Croeso pawb to the Mega March and games under £15 PSN sale. There's quite a few games on sale right now, but I've gone through it as usual, and I found some really good games at really cheap prices, and some really big AAA games at low prices as well. So don't forget to subscribe if you like finding some cool games to play, and saving a lot of money along the way. You're welcome here anytime. These sales end on the 13th of March, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have Aleingun. It was released in 2016, so it's 8 years old, and it's on a 95% discount for the crazy low price of 79 pence, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal for an interesting looking indie game. In this stealth game, you get to play as a Russian assassin in the Cold War who gets caught up in a nuclear standoff, working with CIA agents in unsanctioned covert operations to uncover the conspiracy and stop the nuclear apocalypse. Now, this game doesn't have the best reviews, but hey, it's basically a rip-off of the Hitman series, which I love. They're really good games, and especially the modern ones are a really good continuation of the series. They're some of the most unique and fun games to play. Now, just because this game rips them off doesn't mean it's as good as them, but hey, the Hitman series aren't 79 pence a game, so swings and roundabouts I guess. I'm a big fan of the Hitman series, and this is the only other game I've seen that's like them, so at this price, I'm willing to take a chance. I've picked it up myself, and if you're as interested as I am, then why not pick it up as well? It can't be that bad at this price. And hey, if you've never played a stealth assassination game before, then I would recommend starting here. Like I said, it's not the best around, but at this price, you can't really go far wrong. And if you end up not liking it, you haven't wasted a load of money. It seems okay to me, but if you'd rather wait for the AAA versions, then subscribe and I'll let you know when they're on sale next. But if not, I think it's worth taking a chance on this. So if you're tempted, why not take a look? You may find a cool little game to play. All Hail the Duke! Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour is our next game, and it was released in 2016, so it's 8 years old, although it's much older than that really, like decades older, and is on a huge sale of 90% for a low price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it for non-PS Plus members, and a pretty good deal as well. You're not going to get a legendary game like this any cheaper than that, I wouldn't have thought. In this FPS, Duke is back to kick alien ass and save the hot babes, as well as the rest of the world, I suppose. It features a new episode, new weapon, new high-fidelity re-recorded audio, and a new audio track from the original game composer as well. So not only are you getting the original game, but for modern consoles, but you also get a ton of extra content, which is really cool. This and Doom basically revolutionized the FPS genre and invented it practically. Now, it may be a bit dated these days, but if you're a fan of retro games, or you just want to see some gaming history, why not take a look at it? It's pretty cheap to buy, and you never know, you might really enjoy yourself. So why not take a look? It's a really cool, legendary game. And hey, if you've never played an old school FPS before, then I would recommend starting here. It's one of the most legendary ones around, and it's a really good price as well. So you can't ask for much more really. So if you like retro games and you're not put off by how old it is, then you can have a lot of fun here, especially at this price. So why not take a look? You might just find your new favourite game to play. We have a wrestling game next, Fire Pro Wrestling World Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £11.09, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a massive discount on the normal price of this game. And it even includes 3 DLC, the Fire Promoter, Fighting Roads 2017 NJPW Junior Heavyweight Championship, and an additional scenario DLC as well. So you're getting the best version of the game with a ton of extra content included, which is really great. This wrestling game is based on old school classics, and this game features ultimate customization, where even the ring can be customized, and you even get to download and share your wrestlers online, and it also includes 4-player online multiplayer as well, although who knows how active that is these days. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is a very retro game. If you like modern wrestling games, like the SmackDown games, or WCW, you're not going to be into this at all. It's 2D, and it's pretty old school in its gameplay. But hey, it's still around for a reason. It's a really good genre, and you can have a lot of fun with it. None of the other wrestling games will have as much customization and fun as you will with this one. So as long as you like retro games and you're going to overlook the old school gameplay, there's a ton of fun to be had with this, especially if you're a real wrestling fan. With the downloadable content and sharing your own stuff, there's endless possibilities to this game. It's a real good game for fans of wrestling. So if that's you and you like the sound of it, why not take a look at it? I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. And hey, if you've never played a wrestling game before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here, as the old school retro gameplay will probably put a lot of people off. and that's a shame because underneath that, there's a really good game here. And you can probably pick up some of the older 3D games from other franchises, cheaper than this as well, and you're probably better off starting with one of them. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. We have an action platformer next, Giga Wrecker Alt. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great price for an interesting looking game. This game is set in the near future, on an Earth ravaged by an alien invasion, where the hope of humanity rests in a girl, saved from death and cursed with cybernetic powers beyond comprehension. It features frantic platforming, physics-based puzzles, and intense combat as well. It's nice to see a game like this, because you see a lot of puzzle platformers, and you see a lot of platform-based combat, but you don't see a lot that mixes the two, so it's kind of a bit unique. Although it's from genres that have a lot of games in it, you don't see them combined very often, so it does make it a bit different. So if you're a fan of 2D puzzle platformers, or a fan of 2D action games, then you'll probably want to check this out. It's different, and it's nice to see the genres mix for a change. So if you like the sound of that, why not take a look? You might find a cool little game to play, and have a lot of fun. And hey, if you've never played an action platformer before, then I would recommend starting here. This one's a little different, it seems like it has an interesting story, and it's at a really good price as well, so you can't ask for much more really when you're looking for a cool new game to play. So if you're interested in this genre, or you just like the look of this game, why not take a look at it? At this price, I'm sure you'll have a good amount of fun with it. Check it out. We have some DLC next, Jurassic World Evolution Expansion Collection. It's on an 85% discount for the price of £4.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, a really good price compared to what it normally goes for. This DLC includes all of the expansions for the Jurassic Park Evolution game, which are 3 full story expansions, with the third one being the Return to Jurassic Park, that allows you to rebuild and reopen the original park from the first movie, and it even features Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm as well. So if you're a big fan of the first movie, it's a dream come true for you. You get to see and manage the original park, and get to see the original characters as well, which is really cool. Now I don't normally cover DLC, but with this game series, they don't offer a deluxe edition or a complete edition, so if you want to buy the Jurassic Park Evolution game, you have to buy the base game and then buy the DLC separately. So the way to buy this game is to buy the basic version, and then buy this expansion collection, which gives you all of the major content. It doesn't give you the extra dinosaurs and the skins, but that stuff's mostly cosmetic, and it doesn't change the game that much. This is the real meat of the game, and it adds a ton of extra content. And I have to say I've completed this game. I platinumed it, and I love RTS games, and I'm a fan of Jurassic Park, and this game is really good. I found it enjoyable right to the end, and I spent hours just playing it again and again to complete all of the different islands, and finish the story, and all of the DLCs as well. I enjoyed the whole game, and I'm probably looking to pick up the second one in the future when it's cheap enough. So if you're a fan of RTS games or management games, and especially if you like Jurassic Park, you should definitely check this out along with the base game at some point. It's a really good game, highly recommended. And hey, if you've never played an RTS before, then I wouldn't start here because it's a DLC expansion. Although I would start with this game, it's a really good one, so if you're interested, keep this on your list and pick it up in another sale after you've got the base game, or pick it up now if you really want it, and then pick up the base game in another sale. Either way, subscribe, and we'll make it happen some way. We have a LEGO game next, LEGO Marvel Superheroes. It was released in 2013, so it's 11 years old, and it's on an 88% discount for the price of £4.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for such a cool game. In this third-person action game, you get to play an original story, crossing the entire Marvel universe, where you play as all of the Marvel heroes, plus many more as well, even ones that weren't in the movies, making it a great game for fans of the comics, or just Marvel in general. And as per usual with LEGO games, it's a great family game to play with your kid or your partner. They're really good cooperative games, so if you like playing games with your mates, why not pick up a LEGO game? They're always great fun, and they've got a ton of really good licenses as well, so pick the one you like the most. If you're a fan of Marvel, take a look at this one, but if not, there's plenty more to choose from, so subscribe, and then you can pick one of the others up instead. And hey, if you've never played a third-person action game before, then I would recommend starting here if you're a fan of LEGO and if you're a fan of Marvel. Like I said, with LEGO games, it's basically they're all pretty much the same, and it's the license that makes the big difference. So if you're a fan of Marvel and you like local multiplayer games, then why not take a look at this one? It's a lot of fun, especially with a friend, partner or kid. Why not take a look? We have an RPG next, Outwards the Adventurer Bundle. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £6.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal for an interesting looking game, as this bundle includes both the expansions, the Soroborians, and the Three Brothers, so you're getting the complete version of the game, with all of the extra content included, which is really good. This unique open-world RPG features dynamic quests that react to your decisions and an autosave that ensures you are locked into your decisions, so no save skimming with this game unfortunately, you filthy cheaters. And it also features survival elements, magic, 2-player local co-op, and it promises a different experience every playthrough, because of the importance of the decisions you make, and the autosaving that makes you go through with them as well, which is really cool and unique. It's different, and I like it. So if you're a fan of RPG games and you're looking for something a bit different, or you like the idea of a unique story that actually changes with your decisions, then you might want to check this out. It may be an indie game, but it's got big ambitions, and I think it'll be a lot of fun because of them. So if you're as intrigued as I am, why not check it out? It may be the coolest game you've played in ages. And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It is different and unique, and it intrigues me, but you can get much bigger AAA games way cheaper than this, even from Legendary series as well. So you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. So if you like the sound of that, don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. Up next, we have Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. It was released in 2014, so it's 10 years old, but it's older than that really, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £3.74, which is a really good price for such a good quality game, as this version is remastered, and it includes 24 DLCs with the expansion Year of the Snake, which is a Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon ripoff, and a horror-themed expansion Nightmare in North Point, which is a zombie apocalypse expansion as well. So not only are you getting the complete version of the game, you're getting some really cool DLCs as well, that add a lot of extra content, and a lot of really cool stuff to do in the game, which is great. Some of the expansions are basically games in their own right. This open-world action game is set in Hong Kong, where you play as a cop that goes undercover in the Triad Sun On Yee organization, climbing the ranks to get enough information to take them down once and for all from the inside out. It features a martial arts combat system and loads of minigames to play as well. Now I picked up this game a while back and I completed it, platinumed it, played everything, and I absolutely loved the game. I had so much fun. It was like playing an old school GTA game that didn't rely on all the online stuff for the fun stuff. Everything's included. They throw in a load of cool fun stuff with every fun thing you could ever want. And the combat system is amazing. It's hands down way better than GTA, and it makes the hand-to-hand combat a lot of fun. All in all, if you're a fan of GTA but you don't like the online stuff or the reliability on it, then you want to check this out. It's basically GTA Hong Kong, and it's as good as it sounds. Trust me, you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Take a look. And hey, if you've never played an open world action game before, then I would definitely recommend starting here. It's a great game with a ton of content, and it's just a really good quality game. You can't go far wrong really. If you're interested, why not check it out? I promise you'll have a good time. We have an odd little VR game next, Squishies. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of 79p, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a dirt cheap price, especially for a VR game. Now, this VR puzzle game needs Move controllers, so if you don't have them you can't play it, as they're a fundamental part of the gameplay. Now, this game is set in a cheerful world of adventures, where you have to help the stranded Squishies find their way home with your alien fish-themed Move controllers. They can blow or suck air, or push and pull objects in the environments, so it's up to you to puzzle your way through the levels to get them all to safety and complete the game. It may sound pretty simple, but it includes 5 worlds to play, with 100 levels, and a complete level builder as well, where you can create your own levels and share them online with other people. So there's a lot of endless gameplay to be had with this game. If you like downloading other people's levels, or making them yourself, there's a lot of extra content if that's your sort of thing. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, this may not be a massive AAA VR game, and it won't be for everyone, but if you like cool little VR games, or you're looking for a simple little puzzler, why not take a look at this one? It looks really fun, and at this price, you can't go far wrong really. So if you're tempted by this fun little puzzler, or you've got a kid that likes VR, why not take a look? I've picked it up myself, and I think I'll enjoy it, and you might as well. And hey, if you've never played a VR puzzle game before, then I would recommend starting here. It may be simple, but it's really cheap, and it looks pretty cool as well. It may not be the most exciting game around, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had, if this is your sort of game. So if you like the sound of it, why not take a look? I'm sure you'll have a great time. Up next is my star buy, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the price of £5.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal for such a big AAA game with a huge franchise attached to it. As this edition includes 2 free skins, an art book, and 90 minutes of behind the scenes videos covering the development of the game, so that'll be pretty interesting if you're into that sort of thing. Although if you're not, you don't need the deluxe edition, so you might want to wait for the standard edition to come on sale instead. Now all of the editions also include the free PS5 upgrade, so you'll get that for free as well, which is great. You can play the improved version with better frame rate and better graphics as well, for free. You can't ask for much more really. In this epic third-person action adventure, you get to play as an abandoned Padawan who must find a way to complete his training alone, developing new force abilities and mastering the lightsaber, and all while staying one step ahead of the Empire as well. Now this game is basically a Souls-like game, but nowhere near as difficult, so you get all of the fun sides of Souls-like games without the extra challenge and the super hard difficulty, which may not please everyone, but for most people who are just Star Wars fans and want a good game, they'll really enjoy this, and you will enjoy it if that's you. It's got a really good story, and the combat and action is really great as well, especially the set pieces. It's a lot of fun to play. So if you haven't played a good Star Wars game since the Jedi Knight games or the Force Unleashed games, then you should definitely take a look at this. If you're a fan of Star Wars or action games in general, you'll have a lot of fun. It's highly rated, got really good reviews, and everybody loves it in general. So if you're a fan of action games, a really good story, and Star Wars, or games like Uncharted, definitely check this out. It's a lot of fun, and really good quality as well. Like I said, it's my starter buy. It's well worth your time and money. I promise. And hey, if you've never played a third-person action game before, then I would recommend starting here. Unless you don't like Star Wars. In that case, there's plenty more games in this genre, so you're better off starting with another one instead. But if you're a fan of Star Wars, then you'll really enjoy this game, so you should check it out in that case. But if you're neutral, then you might want to check this out, or you have got other options. So if you're not sure or you don't like Star Wars, subscribe, and then you won't miss the other games when they go on sale instead. We have a racing game next. V-Rally 4 Ultimate Edition. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £3.49, which is a really good price, as this edition includes over £30 worth of DLC, including 4 car packs as well, so you're getting a lot of extra content for your money, which is great. In this rally game, you get to race over 50 cars in rally, rallycross, drift, buggy, and hill climbing events, and it also features 2-player local co-op and an official guide to the game as well. So you do get a ton of content in this game, including a load of cars to drive as well, which is really great. Although because it doesn't have the official license, you don't have any of the official content, so if that means something to you, then you might not want to pick this game up. But if you just want a racing game, or you want to see what a rally game's like, then why not have a look at this game? It looks like a really good quality game, at a really good price, so why not take a look if you're interested? And hey, if you've never played a rally game before, then I would recommend starting here. It looks like a really good one, and pretty much the only reason I wouldn't recommend it is if you're interested in the licensed stuff, in which case you'd have to pick up a WRC game instead. But there's loads of them on sale all the time, so if you're interested in them, subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. And the final game I have for you is XCom 2 The Collection. It was released in 2018, so it's 6 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the price of £7.49, which is a ridiculously high discount compared to the normal price, as it includes the War of the Chosen expansion and 4 DLC packs as well, so you're getting the complete version of the game with a massive amount of extra content included, which is really good. This turn-based strategy game is set in a world under alien rule, and against impossible odds, you must rebuild XCom and ignite a global resistance to reclaim our world and save humanity. It features 5 classes to play as, research and upgrades, plus 2-player online multiplayer as well, although who knows how busy that is these days. Now these days you don't have a lot of turn-based strategy games around, and especially not ones from a legendary series, or AAA quality ones either, and this is everything. It's from a legendary series, with AAA production values, and it's hailed as one of the best turn-based strategy games around. So if you're a fan of the XCOM series, or you just like turn-based strategy games in general, then you should definitely take a look at this. It's one of the best ones around, and there's not a lot of competition either. This is probably the pinnacle, so if you're into this genre or series, definitely check it out. It's probably the best game around. And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, then I would recommend starting here. It's a really big game with a load of content, but it's from a legendary series, and it's got really good AAA production values. So if you're interested in this genre, why not take a look at this one? It's probably the best one you're going to play for a long time, but it might get you addicted to the genre as well. Now you do have some other options because indie ones are cheaper, so if you'd rather not go for this one, or you'd rather spend a little bit less money, then subscribe and you can pick up one of them instead in another sale. And that's all the games I have for the Mega March and games under £15 PSN sales. Hey, did you see Sony's announced the PSVR 2 is going to have PC support by the end of the year? I'm excited about that. I built a new gaming PC a little while ago, as you can see by the AI stuff, and I'm looking forward to using it with that to see what it can really do with a real powerhouse behind it and access to a full computer. That'll be cool to try that out. Anyway, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the Star Buy? Did it deserve it, or should some other game have got it instead? Leave any comments you have below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you guys found some cool games to play, but more importantly, I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Au revoir.